Most founders think they have a revenue problem. In many cases, they don't. They have a timing problem. Revenue is being generated, but decisions, visibility, and financial sequencing are not aligned with it. And when timing misaligns, growth begins to feel unstable, even when sales appear healthy. In growing companies, revenue becomes the primary focus. More pipeline, more campaigns, more volume, more output. When pressure appears, the instinct is almost automatic. Increase revenue. This belief is reinforced by common business advice. If you have a problem, sell more. If margins are tight, increase top line. If growth slows, push acquisition. Revenue becomes the dominant lever, and in early-stage environments, that often works. But as complexity increases, something changes. The organization expands. More clients, more communication layers, more team members, more operational dependencies, more cost commitments. Yet the decision model often remains revenue-centric. So when stress appears, leadership assumes, we need more revenue. The visible symptoms support that belief. Cash feels inconsistent. Operating costs feel heavier. Strategic decisions feel constrained. Hiring feels risky. Marketing feels urgent. Revenue reports may show growth, but internally, pressure increases. The company appears to be advancing, yet feels fragile. This contradiction is where timing becomes the hidden variable. Revenue measures volume. Timing measures alignment. Those are not the same thing. Many organizations generate revenue in uneven patterns. Project-based revenue, campaign-based revenue, contract cycles, milestone payments, net 30 or net 60 receivables. At the same time, expenses operate on fixed timing, payroll every 2 weeks, vendor invoices monthly, ad platforms billing continuously, software subscriptions auto-renewing. If revenue timing does not align with cost timing, pressure builds, even if total revenue is sufficient. This creates a dangerous illusion. On paper, the business is profitable. In practice, the organization feels constrained because usable cash flow is not synchronized with commitments. Here is the flawed assumption. Increasing revenue solves instability. That is only true if timing structures support it. If not, increasing revenue can increase volatility. More revenue often means more fulfillment costs, more operational load, more staffing pressure, more dependency on collections, more exposure to delay. If the organization lacks timing visibility, leadership cannot anticipate these gaps. So they react. They tighten spending. They delay hiring. They renegotiate payments. They push sales harder. This reaction reinforces the belief that revenue is insufficient. When in reality, synchronization is insufficient. Timing misalignment forces reactive leadership. Reactive leadership slows strategic growth. The root issue is structural sequencing, not revenue volume. To evaluate timing properly, consider 3 lenses. Lens 1, revenue velocity versus revenue stability. Revenue velocity measures how quickly sales occur. Revenue stability measures how predictable and aligned those inflows are relative to obligations. Velocity feels powerful. It creates momentum. It signals growth. It generates excitement. But velocity without stability introduces volatility. Volatility forces caution. When inflows are unpredictable, leadership becomes conservative. Expansion plans pause. Investments slow. Long-term commitments feel dangerous. The executive question becomes, is our revenue predictable enough to confidently support our cost structure? If the answer is unclear, timing risk exists. High velocity can mask low stability, and low stability creates fragility. Lens 2. Decision timing versus financial timing. Revenue arrives according to customer behavior. Costs arrive according to contractual obligation. Leadership decisions arrive according to comfort. This is where misalignment intensifies. Founders often delay decisions while waiting for certainty. They wait for stronger numbers. They wait for confirmation. They wait for more data. Meanwhile, expenses continue on schedule. If pricing adjustments lag, cost increases, margin compresses. If hiring lags, demand signals, service quality declines. If receivable follow-up lags, billing cycles, liquidity tightens. Decision lag amplifies financial timing gaps. A decision made 60 days late can be more expensive than a decision made imperfectly but early. Timing magnifies consequence. The cost of delay compounds silently. Revenue volume may remain constant, but decision timing erosion creates structural weakness. Lens 3. Visibility architecture. In early stages, intuition replaces dashboards. The founder knows the business intimately. But as scale increases, intuition degrades. Complexity grows faster than awareness. If leadership does not replace intuition with structured visibility, timing gaps remain invisible. Key signals often go unmeasured. Collection cycle duration, cash conversion speed, deferred revenue sequencing, capacity utilization, decision backlog length. Without structured visibility, leaders rely on perception. Perception under complexity is unreliable, so they default to increasing revenue. Because revenue is visible, timing inefficiencies are not. This is how timing problems persist undiagnosed. When timing misalignment exists, growth becomes heavier. Not because the market rejects the offer, but because the organization cannot absorb growth efficiently. This leads to several long-term consequences. First, margin degradation. When liquidity feels unstable, leaders discount faster. They concede terms earlier. They accept suboptimal clients. Short-term relief reduces long-term durability. Second, strategic hesitation. Instability erodes confidence. Bold decisions are postponed. Expansion slows. Partnerships are delayed. Innovation contracts. Third, founder centralization increases. When timing feels unstable, leaders insert themselves. They monitor cash personally. They approve expenses directly. They oversee collections. They manually correct misalignments. This increases dependency on executive oversight. Dependency reduces scalability. Over time, the organization's growth ceiling lowers. The paradox is subtle. Revenue can increase while stability decreases. This creates cognitive dissonance. Externally, the company looks successful. Internally, it feels fragile. Pressure builds quietly. Without correction, pressure converts into exhaustion. Exhaustion reduces clarity. Reduced clarity leads to reactive decision-making. Reactive decision-making increases volatility. Volatility reinforces the belief that revenue is insufficient. The cycle repeats until leadership reframes the problem. Revenue is volume. Timing is control. Without control, volume creates stress rather than strength. Strong organizations do not simply generate revenue, they synchronize it. They align revenue timing with cost timing. They align decision timing with financial reality. They create visibility architecture that exposes gaps early. They reduce decision lag. They convert volatility into predictability. That predictability creates strategic freedom. Freedom enables confident scaling. Scaling built on synchronization is durable. Scaling built on velocity alone is unstable. Revenue does not guarantee stability. Alignment does. When revenue timing, decision timing, and cost timing move in sequence, growth feels controlled. When they move independently, growth feels fragile. The most important question is not how much revenue you are generating. It is whether your timing structure can absorb it. Because in business, volume without synchronization is not strength. It is exposure. And exposure rarely appears dramatic at first. It accumulates quietly, until leadership realizes the constraint was never revenue, it was timing.